Preface of Life of Chopin by Franz Liszt. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Life of Chopin by Franz Liszt. Translated by Martha Walker Cook. The Preface. To a people always prompt in its recognition of genius, and ready to sympathize in joys and woes of a truly great artist, this work will be one of exceeding interest. It is a short, glowing, and generous sketch from the hand of Franz Liszt, who, considered in the double light of composer and performer, has no living equal. Of the original and romantic Chopin, the most ethereal, subtle, and delicate among our modern tone poets. It is a rare thing for a great artist to write on art, to leave the passionate worlds of sounds or colors for the colder realm of words. Rarer still for him to abdicate, even temporarily, his own throne, to stand patiently and hold aloft the blazing torch of his own genius, to illume the gloomy grave of another. Yet this has Liszt done through love for Chopin. It is a matter of considerable interest to note how the nervous and agile fingers, accustomed to sovereign rule over the keys, handle the pen; how the musician feels as a man; how he estimates art and artists. Liszt is a man of extensive culture, vivid imagination, and great knowledge of the world; and, in addition to their high artistic value, his lines glow with poetic fervour, with impassioned eloquence. His musical criticisms are refined and acute, but without repulsive technicalities or scientific terms, even sparkling with poetic ardour of the generous soul through which the discriminating yet appreciative awards were poured. Ah, in these days of degenerate rivalries and bitter jealousies, let us welcome a proof of affection so tender as his Life of Chopin. It would be impossible for the reader of this book to remain ignorant of the exactions of art, while, through its eloquence and subtle analysis of character, it appeals to the cultivated literary tastes of our people. It opens for them a dazzling perspective into that of a strange world of tones, of whose magical realm they know, comparatively speaking, so little. It is intelligible to all who think or feel, requiring no knowledge of music for its comprehension. The compositions of Chopin are now the mode, the rage. Everyone asks for them, everyone tries to play them. We have, however, but few remarks upon the peculiarities of his style, or the proper manner of producing his works. His compositions, generally perfect in form, are never abstract conceptions, but had their birth in his soul, sprang from the events of his life, and are full of individual and national idiosyncrasies of psychological interest. Liszt knew Chopin both as a man and artist. Chopin loved to hear him interpret his music, and himself taught to the great pianist the mysteries of his undulating rhythm and original motifs. The broad and noble criticisms contained in this book are absolutely essential for musical culture of the thousands now laboriously, but vainly, struggling to perform his elaborate works, and who, having no key to their multiplied complexities of expression, frequently fail in rendering them aright. And the masses in this country, full of vivid perception and intelligent curiosity, who, not playing themselves, would yet fain follow with the heart compositions which they are told are of so much artistic value, will here find a key to guide them through the tuneful labyrinth. Some of Chopin's best works are analyzed herein. He wrote for the heart of his people; their joys, sorrows, and caprices are immortalized by the power of his art. He was a strictly national tone poet, and to understand him fully, something must be known of the brave and haughty, but unhappy country which he so loved. Liszt felt this, and has been exceedingly happy in the short sketch given of Poland. We actually know more of its picturesque and characteristic customs after a perusal of his graphic pages, than after a long course of dry historical details. His remarks on the Polonaise and Mazurka are full of the philosophy and essence of history. These dances grew directly from the heart of the Polish people, repeating the martial valor and haughty love of noble exhibition of their men, the tenderness, devotion, and subtle coquetry of their women. They were, of course, favorite forms with Chopin. Their national character made them dear to the national poet. The remarks of Liszt on these dances are given with a knowledge so acute of the traits of the nation in which they originated, with such a gorgeousness of description and correctness of detail, that they rather resemble a highly finished picture than a colder work of words only. They have all the splendor of a brilliant painting. He seizes the secrets of nationality of these forms, traces them through the heart of Polish people, follows them through their marvelous transfiguration in the pages of the Polish artist, and reads by their light much of the sensitive and exclusive character of Chopin, analyzing it with the skill of love, while depicting it with romantic eloquence. To those who can produce the compositions of Chopin in the spirit of their author, no words are necessary. They follow with the heart the poetic and palpitating emotions so exquisitely wrought through the aerial tissue of the tones by this subtle souled psychologist, this bold and original explorer in the invisible world of sound. All honor to their genius. Oh, happy, and of many millions, they the purest chosen, whom heart's service pure hallows and claims, whose hearts are made her throne, whose lips her oracle, ordained secure to lead a priestly life and feed the ray of her eternal shrine. To them alone her glorious countenance unveiled is shown. Yea, the high brotherhood shadings rejoice in the great rank allotted by her choice, the loftiest rank the spiritual world sublime, rich with its starry thrones, gives to the sons of time. Schiller. Short but glowing sketches of Heine, Meyerbeer, Adolphe Nourrit, Hiller, Eugene Delacroix, Niemcevich, Mickiewicz, and Madame Sand occur in the book. The description of the last days of poor Chopin's melancholy life, while the untiring devotion of those around him, including the beautiful Countess Delphine Potocka, his cherished sister Louise, his devoted friend and pupil M. Goodman, with the great Liszt himself, is full of tragic interest. No pains have been spared by the translator to make the translation acceptable, for the task was truly a labour of love. No motives of interest induce the lingering over the careful rendering of the charmed pages, but an intense desire that our people should know more of musical art, that while acknowledging the generosity and eloquence of Liszt, they should learn to appreciate and love the more subtle fire, the more creative genius of the unfortunate but honourable and honoured artist Chopin. Perchance Liszt may yet visit us. We may yet hear the matchless pianists call from their graves in the wide keys, the delicate arabesques, the undulating and varied melodies of Chopin. We should be prepared to appreciate the great artist in his enthusiastic rendering of the masterpieces of the man he loved, prepared to greet him when he electrifies us with his wonderful cyclopean harmonies, written for his own Herculean grasp, sparkling with his own Promethean fire, which no meaner hand can ever hope to master. Here Liszt and die, had been said by some of his enthusiastic admirers. Understand him and live, were the wiser advice. In gratitude then to Chopin for the multiplied sources of high and pure pleasure which he has revealed to humanity in his creations, the human woe and sorrow become pure beauty when his magic spell is on them. The translator calls upon all lovers of the beautiful to contribute a stone to the pyramid now rapidly erecting in honor of the great modern composer. I, the living stone of appreciation, crystallized in the enlightened gratitude of the heart. So works this music upon earth. God so admits it, sends it forth, to add another worth to worth, a new creation bloom that rounds the old creation and expounds his beautiful in tuneful sounds. End of Preface. Read by Lambda.